Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista, here on YouTube, and today is Monday, Monday, August 8th. I was off work today. Had a very good day so far. Got up, I did a lot of reading today, and had coffee and wrote in my journal. And, I used to sit in this chair and do that, right? Out in my crafting area, first of all, in the morning, that area gets such good light because the sun is facing that way in the morning. And we have a chair that is next to my drafting table out there that was Bill's mom's. And that chair has been in their family for like 100 years or something like that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get my coffee and my book and I'm going to sit there today. And it was glorious. And I said, I think I need to start, I would like to institute that as a habit every day. My Bible is coming today, so I'm looking forward to that because we have like a little table that we weren't using downstairs, so I actually moved it up here next to the chair, and I want to put my Bible on it because that's where I want to read the passage I'm going to read each day. But just to sit there and have a cup of coffee and read and not have any type of noise or sound when I start my day, it was a really good way to get into the day. And I read for good, I didn't have work today, so I had time. I got up about 8 o'clock and I read, I would say, for a good 2 hours in between doing chores, pulling out stuff for dinner, that kind of thing. Prepped for tomorrow, our job tomorrow confirmed. And then got in the shower, got myself ready, got all that good stuff done. So I showed you this book, right, that Marianne made me, and she had this fishing paper and really wanted to make one for me to do for Bill. Now, I didn't want to fill it with stitching necessarily, but what I decided to do, and I know I told you guys this, I'm going to give this to him for Christmas, and I'm going to fill it with pictures of him fishing with his daughter, with his friends, pictures of him and I, because we have a bunch of pictures like from the drive-in that we've taken, a little photo album of sorts for him. And so today I wanted to at least get, first of all, I counted and I can fit like 30 pictures in here. So I wanted to know what I was up against as far as finding pictures. Because see, when we got his new cell phone, I told him, I said, let me put your pictures on my computer. That way, nothing gets lost. And I just wanted the pictures because without him knowing, because I wanted to be able to cull through them and find the ones that I wanted to print. And how am I printing them? On my wonderful HP Sprocket. So this is a thermal printer. Bill got this for me for my birthday this year. It was, I want to say $80. So you charge it. There's the power button. You have an app on your phone where you can print the pictures from there, and you can even add text to the pictures. It comes out here, paper goes inside, and he even bought me the case for it. And I'll show you, the pictures are pretty small. He bought me a bunch of packs of paper, and I'm going to need them for that. But because it's thermal, there's no ink to ever replace. 2 thumbs up on that. So I printed out 2 pictures today, so I wanted to show you. Where did I put the first one? Okay, here's the first one. And because the paper is also sticky on the back, so they're essentially a sticker. And the pictures are only 2 by 3. They're not big. This book is small, so it's perfect. So this page says, Sail Away With Me. This was us last year in Harper's Ferry. We went there for an overnight trip. Charlestown, Harper's Ferry. So that's the kind of pictures that I want to fill this book with. So I did that one. And then I found this page. So Ocean brand, it says, but then there's a tag that pulls out. This was us last Halloween. We were just being silly. And do you see like the little, there's like little white decorations. Let me put it in front of my face. Little white decorations and then the word happy. So that was us out there trick-or-treating. And I just thought that was perfect for that. And this book, I think he's going to love this. I think this is going to be one of my probably my favorite gift that I give him this year, because I'm not giving him something that I've made in a really long time. And I've told no one about this except you guys. He doesn't watch my videos, so he'll never know. So I'm so very excited. So 2 pictures down, 27 to go, or 28 to go. But yeah, the sprocket, fantastic. And see the case, like you put the camera in here, it fits in that little thing, and it's so wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And it was one of, like I said, my birthday presents from him that I really, really wanted. So very excited. I figured I better start printing those pictures out. I looked through the pictures I have today, so I have quite a bit. I know there's some online that I've saved. I just need to, get them on my phone, because that's how you print them from the app on your phone. And it connects to the sprocket, Bluetooth. Fantastical, like really, really great. And the pictures turn out really good. So yesterday, you guys, if you watch my video, you know I have a new start. I started Primrose Cottage stitches because I love their stuff so very much. Toil and Trouble. Love this one. I had started, they have another one like this, and I had started it on Joblin, and I discarded it. I think I'm going to stitch it on paper. I really think I'm going to stitch it again because I really liked it. It was like the Halloween ABCs, I think. I can't remember what that was. But I am using 14 count Lavender Mist perforated paper, which this pattern and the paper is linked in the description box. So I started in the middle because, you know, for a lot of my projects, I started in the top left-hand corner. And I said, you know what, I'm going to starting in the middle, because then I know that the project is going to be perfectly centered. So here's what I have done. So I got done, and I know wait a minute, let me find something. You can see right through the paper. I know that's like not ideal. You know what? We're just going to use this. And actually, haha, I'm so smart. This is magnetic, so it sticks to it. Okay. That's my needle minder that I made, by the way. Okay, so this is Lavender Mist perforated paper, and I got the cauldron stitched. I was somehow off by 1 stitch. Fudging that, because I don't care. I wasn't tearing all that out just for 1 stitch. And then I got the spider, and I don't have black. I was going to use for the back stitch, because there's like a spider, there's another spider. I was going to use the black petite treasure braid. I don't have any. I must have used it all when I did my last project, so I don't have it, and I wasn't going to buy it just for this. So I got that, the word and, the bat, and then this is starting the word cauldron in the purple. Now, on this piece, if you look, they use DMC4, which is a gray color. It's one of the newest ones, the word trouble and the word bubble. I don't like that gray color because I held it up against this. I'm going to show you. And I'm like, Halloween to me, I like bright, unless I'm stitching something that's like all in black. So I am going to substitute out, bam, 666. We all know the story behind this color, and I like to use it whenever I can. It is actually called Christmas Red, I think, believe it or not. So we know it's a red color, but I think that it's going to look really good. The word bubble, the word trouble in this color, I think it's going to look fantastic. So that is what I am doing for that. But yeah, I will get some more stitching done tonight, probably. I did finish last night when I was stitching. I did finish that series on Hulu that I was watching called Rules of the Game. So good. 4 episodes. They're each an hour long. So 4 hours I watched. I watched the whole thing yesterday. So good. Highly recommend. And I've actually went on YouTube and tried to find some new floss tubers to watch, because sometimes I get a kick where I want to watch some, and all of the people that I searched and found, man, their voices are so nice and calming. I like that. So I haven't watched any yet, but probably tonight. And I did look up the dates for the Needlework Expo. It is the end of this month, so it's like August 27th, I want to say. So excited. I'm very excited to see all the new stuff. I do have a coupon from Abby, Top Knot Stitcher, when we were at the retreat, the Floss Tube retreat. She gave everyone a 15% off coupon to her store. I saved it because I'm going to be using it because I'm going to order from her. So can't wait. I feel like it's been a really long time since I have spent a significant amount of money on cross stitch. It has been a while. Like I said, I bought that one pattern at the retreat. It was $7.50. Yeah. And then I bought paper. So I spent $21 at the Needleworker's Delight. But okay. So we're going to read a small miracle story, and we are going to read a poem from Donna Ashworth's book. Okay. Taylor Caldwell was a best-selling author in the 1950s and 1960s. For decades, her historical romances had dominated the bestseller charts. In terms of sales and excitement, she was the mid-century's equivalent of Danielle Steele. And when I was a teenager, oh boy, I read a lot of her books, and I read a lot of Mary Higgins Clark. I read just about every single thing of Mary Higgins Clark when I was a teenager. Yeah. Her devoted husband, with whom she had a long and wonderful marriage, preceded her in death. His death came after a protracted illness, and both had prepared for it. Just minutes before his death, Taylor Caldwell clutched her husband's hand and pleaded, "If there is life on the other side, I beg you send me a sign. Let me know you are with me." Her husband nodded his assent. "Promise?" she begged. "I promise," he pledged. The next morning, overcome by her grief, Taylor Caldwell stepped out into her garden, seeking solace from nature as she always did. "Oh, darling," she cried out to her husband, "if you would only send me a sign that you are with me, I could try to go on. My pain is so wrenching and my grief so strong, I fear I cannot survive otherwise." Just then, Mrs. Caldwell approached a section of her garden where the ground had always proven stubbornly infertile and had never flourished like the surrounding area. As her gaze absently swept over this section, she gasped. In the center of this section stood a rosemary bush that had not been productive for 30 years. Just the day before, when she had walked these same grounds seeking respite from her death watch, she had commented to herself how sorry she was that the bush had never thrived. But one day later, it was inexplicably in full bloom. Staring in shock and awe at the rosemary bush, Taylor Caldwell stood motionless for a long time, absorbing its message. "Thank you," she whispered fervently. "Thank you. I will be able to go on now that I know you are with me." She had clearly been given the sign she was seeking, she told interviewers later. "You see," she explained, "rosemary means remembrance." Wow. I mean, that would be, and you know, I have a little story about, and I have a scrapbook page I actually did for it. So Bill and I will get flowers every fall and every spring for out front in our garden, okay? We had bought a mum. I'm not a plant person. I don't know about these things, but it was pretty and I liked it, so we bought it. Well, it didn't thrive. It died. And he's like, "We're just going to leave it." He goes, "I'll tear it out later." I want to say a month went by, right? And he didn't tear it out. A month goes by. I go out to go to the store or do something, and I see this big, beautiful flower in our garden. I'm like, where'd that come from? When did he buy that? So I go in the house. I'm like, "Where did you get that flower?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "That's the mum." I said, "What?" Like, it was literally like night and day. So I took a picture of it because I called it our miracle mum. That's what I titled the scrapbook page. He's like, "How did you not notice that before?" It was like one day I looked and it was dead. The next day I looked and it was like this big glorious thing. I was just flabbergasted, totally. I love that though. Like I said, it struck me so surprising that I made a scrapbook page for it because I couldn't get over it. Yeah. Okay, so the comment, "When love is strong and runs deep, it pulsates with an energy that cannot be stopped, not even by death's grip." When two souls are connected and one departs from this world, the separation may seem final, but in truth, the relationship transcends time. Love, like a river, flows eternal, and it embraces all those who swim in its streams. You know, when my grandfather died, my grandmother was at his bedside, and he passed when no one was in the room. I mean, I know I told you that story where I was really angry because I was trying to get up there to say goodbye, and he passed 10 seconds before I got in the room, and I'm not angry anymore because that was the purpose, right? He didn't want me in there. That's how I see that. My grandmother had already had pretty severe dementia by that point, and she still knew who he was. She didn't really know who I was or my mom was. And my grandparents had been married for something like 70 years, 71 years by that point. And, you know, you're not married to somebody for that long without having an extreme bond. I mean, how could you, right? 72 years? Are you kidding me? Like, that is literally, like, I try to wrap my brain around that amount of time. Anyway, she moved in with my mom when he passed, and she went in to have, her downfall was she went in to have gallbladder surgery, and when she came out from the hospital, she wasn't the same. And anesthesia affects older people differently. They can't expel it from their body as quickly, and so it affects your mind and all that. She was never the same. And she had been in the hospital for so long that she would have had to go to rehab and physical therapy and all that, and she did not want to do that. My mom didn't want to do it because she was afraid she was just going to die in there, and we weren't allowed to go into the rehab center because of COVID at that time, right? So I went and visited every single week for a few months because she was put on hospice. She was only given a short time to live. And when I would go to visit her, she would always say, "Where's my husband?" You know, not knowing who, she didn't know who I was at the end. And she literally would ask the same question 5 minutes later. So instead of upsetting her, I don't know why I'm telling this story. This just reminded me. Instead of upsetting her by saying he died, we just said he's at work. That's what we said. And I would hope that would have brought her some peace, that she was in her mind going to see him at some point, because then 5 minutes later she would say, "Where's my husband?" And at the end, she hallucinated a lot, and I don't know if, I forget if that was a side effect of her medication, but she saw her parents standing in the room. I don't know if she saw my grandfather, but I hope, I mean, she slipped into a coma at the end. She was in a coma for like 2 days. I feel like she was at peace. That's how I like to take that. I think about them every single day. I have a picture downstairs of them from like 20 years ago, but I like to think, you know, none of us really know if there is a heaven, right? You don't know till you're gone and you're there. I like to believe that there is something where they're together with, I mean, they were the last ones. My grandmother was like a family of 8, 9 kids, and they had all passed before her. And so you like to think that they're all together, and you know, that's what I hope. That I really, really hope that is what that is like. Okay, so anyway, before I start crying, right? We're gonna read a poem from Donna Ashworth's book, I Wish I Knew. So this one is called Becoming. You are always becoming the person you were born to be, before the world began to mold you to its pattern and not your own. You know what, before I go on, there is I want to say it's scripture. Is it scripture? Somebody who knows the Bible more than me can tell me this. There is something where they say, you know, in a nutshell, don't be like everybody else. You know, the world, society is trying to make us all the same. You have to be yourself, be different. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but that is what, yeah, the world's beginning to mold you to its pattern and not your own. You are always becoming she who learned to hide and shapeshift to suit the crowd. the mood, the room. We've all done that, right? When I think about that, to suit the crowd, the mood, the room, I like to think of me cursing. So I don't know if you've noticed, but it's been a long time since I've cursed in any of my videos. I've even gotten to the point now where, you know, on YouTube, when you upload a video, you have to check if there's inappropriate language. For like the past 2 weeks, I've checked no, because I have not said like one word that it could even be considered a curse word. But when people have come for me in the past on my channel about my language, I always think to myself, and I've told people this at retreats, like when we've talked about it, you know, I kind of read the room, right? If I'm around people that do not curse, I won't, out of respect for them. But I think in this, yeah, I mean, you are different in different situations. Okay. You are always becoming, and every time you release a little more of her to the world, I like to think Mother Nature breathes out, exhales a little more deeply. Here she is. Keep becoming, keep becoming. And you know, I read something earlier today. I think it was another poem from Donna Ashworth, because she has more than one book. And it was like, as you get older, you just become more beautiful because you become more wise, hopefully, right? So I absolutely love that. I also wanted to say I did some yoga today for the first time in a really long time. So I went and I bookmarked on YouTube yoga that's standing, because I don't want to be trying to get on the floor, honestly. And I found this one that was 14 minutes and it was office yoga. And I felt really good after I did it. So imagine what I'll feel like after a month of doing it. There are even some ones that I found that were 5 minutes, because when I have a work day that is sort of long, that may be all I have. So my goal, my intention, I'm going to say my intention, I'm not even going to say the word goal. My intention is to do that something yoga related every single day. I felt really good when I was done, because I think yoga is not just good for your body, it's good for your mind. And we all know the body-mind connection there, right? Okay. I'm going to end this here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Monday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.